There are times in life when we find ourselves caught up in situations, relationships, or even thoughts that drain our energy, pull us away from our purpose, and keep us from moving forward. We hold on to things that were never meant to be held on to and wonder why our lives feel stagnant. But I want to tell you something today that will change your life. Leave it alone. There are moments when we try to fix, control, or manipulate things that are beyond our ability. We push and we struggle, thinking that if we try hard enough, we can make it work. But the truth is, some things are not yours to fix. Some things are not yours to control. Some things, in fact, need to be left alone. Imagine holding onto a rope with all your might. The more you pull, the more it hurts. You're trying to control something that is too heavy for you, something that isn't even meant to be in your hands. How many of us live like that? We keep fighting battles that aren't ours. We keep holding on to people and things that are only dragging us down. But I want you to hear me today. You don't have to fight every battle. You don't have to carry every burden. Some things need to be released. There's a time to let go, to step back, and to trust that what you've been trying to hold on to is in the hands of a greater power. Let's be honest with ourselves. We waste so much time trying to unfix things that we have no control over. We waste so much energy on things that are not meant for us. And in the process, we lose sight of our purpose. We lose sight of what really matters. We begin to chase things that aren't aligned with our destiny. We start to run after empty things when God has something far greater waiting for us. When you leave it alone, you start forcing things. You start making it your responsibility to solve every problem. Instead, you start to focus on what's in front of you. You start to focus on your own growth, your own purpose, and the things that align with your destiny. It's not about giving up. It's about knowing that you have the wisdom and strength to discern what is worthy of your time and energy and what needs to be let go. When you leave things alone, you're making room for what truly matters. You're allowing space for God to move in ways you could never imagine. You see, some things are not meant to be fixed by you. Some things are meant to grow in their own time, with the right people, with the right circumstances. You don't need to be the one to fix everything. Sometimes you just need to step aside and let things unfold. There comes a time in every person's life when they must acknowledge something deep within themselves. Not everything is in their control. Not every situation, not every relationship, not every outcome is something you can fix or manage. We often get caught in the trap of thinking that if we try hard enough, push long enough, or struggle enough, we can bend circumstances to our will. But here's the reality: you can't control everything. And the sooner you accept that truth, the sooner you will find peace and clarity. Think about it. How many times have you found yourself in a situation where you've done everything you could think of to change it, but nothing has shifted? You've exerted all your energy, all your strength, and all your focus on trying to make something work. Maybe it was a relationship that wasn't meant to last, or a job that didn't fulfill you, or even an old wound that keeps reopening. You keep trying to control the situation, believing that if you just push a little harder, it will eventually fall into place. But in reality, it's draining you. You're exhausted. And still, the situation remains the same. This is where we have to face an uncomfortable truth. Some things are not meant to be controlled by you. There are forces at play in this world that are beyond your ability to manipulate. There are situations that you cannot control and people you cannot change. The moment you try to take on more than you're meant to, you end up overwhelmed. You start carrying burdens that were never yours to carry in the first place. And while you're focused on fixing things you can't control, you lose sight of the things that truly matter, the things that are within your control, like your own growth, your own peace, and your own purpose. When you let go of the need to control everything, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and anxiety. You stop fighting battles that were never yours to fight. And here's what happens when you do that. You make room for peace to enter your life. You create space for things to unfold naturally, as they should. Sometimes by releasing control, you allow the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances to come into your life at the right time. The universe, or whatever higher power you believe in, has its way of working things out in ways that are far greater than anything you could have orchestrated yourself. This doesn't mean you become passive or complacent. It doesn't mean you give up on striving for your goals or pursuing your dreams. No, this is about understanding that you can only control certain aspects of your life, and those things should be where you focus your energy. You control your response, your attitude, your decisions, and your actions, but trying to control things like other people's behavior, the outcome of every circumstance, or things that are simply out of your hands, this is a battle you don't need to fight. By accepting that you can't control everything, you start to put your energy into what really matters yourself. You begin to invest in your personal growth, in your development, and in building a life that is true to your purpose. You start to understand that you don't need to manipulate every outcome to ensure success. Instead, you trust that when you're in alignment with your purpose, the right things will fall into place naturally. Letting go of control also means trusting the process. It means realizing that life doesn't always unfold according to your plan. You might not always get the outcome you envisioned, but that doesn't mean you failed. It just means that what's coming for you is bigger and better than anything you could have imagined. Life has a way of working out in ways we cannot always see in the moment. We can't control the timing, and we certainly can't control the journey. But if we learn to let go, we open ourselves up to the possibilities that life has in store. There's a certain peace that comes when you finally understand this truth. It's a peace that allows you to stop carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. It's a peace that helps you sleep at night, knowing that you've done everything within your power. And now it's time to release the rest. When you stop fighting for control, you realize that the battle was never about winning, it was about surrendering. And in that surrender, you gain something far more valuable, true freedom. So I challenge you today to take a step back and ask yourself, what am I trying to control that I shouldn't? What areas of my life am I holding on to too tightly? The moment you recognize those areas, begin the process of releasing. You don't need to carry it all. You don't need to fix it all. Let go and trust that life will unfold as it should. When you stop fighting for control, you make space for something greater to come into your life. Release the weight and feel the freedom that follows. We live in a world full of distractions, demands, and pressures, and it's easy to get lost in the noise. People pull us in different directions. Opportunities seem endless, and there's always something that needs our attention. But the truth is, if you're not careful, you'll end up focusing on everything and accomplishing nothing that truly matters. The key is learning how to focus on what matters most, your purpose, your growth, your peace. When you're able to do that, you start to live with intention, and that intention drives your life forward in a powerful way. Think about it for a moment. How much time do you spend on things that ultimately don't move you closer to your goals? We all fall into the trap of being busy, of checking off tasks, responding to every demand, and trying to keep up with the ever-growing list of responsibilities. But the truth is, most of these tasks are distractions. They're not contributing to your growth, your peace, or your purpose. They might keep you busy, but they don't get you closer to your true destination. When you start focusing on what truly matters, you shift your attention from the endless cycle of distractions to the things that are aligned with your destiny. This doesn't mean you ignore the small tasks or responsibilities of everyday life. But it does mean that you begin to prioritize what is most important, your purpose, your relationships, your health, your personal growth. When you focus on what matters, everything else falls into place more easily. You stop wasting time on things that drain you and start putting your energy into the areas of your life that will bring you the most fulfillment and success. Focusing on what matters also means understanding that not everything deserves your attention. There will always be people, situations, and opportunities that try to pull you away from your true path. Some will try to distract you with their own agendas, while others will simply demand your time and energy without giving anything of value in return. But when you're clear on what matters, you can more easily say no to the things that are not aligned with your purpose. You learn to protect your time and your energy because you understand that both are limited resources. The ability to focus on what matters also means understanding that your personal growth is a priority. So often we get caught up in trying to meet the expectations of others or fulfill every role we're assigned that we forget to take care of ourselves. But if you're not growing, if you're not investing in your own development, you can't expect to move forward. Personal growth isn't something that happens by accident. It requires intentionality, discipline, and focus. It requires you to carve out time in your life for learning, reflection, and self-improvement. In a world that constantly pushes us to be more, do more, and achieve more, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that growth isn't always about doing more. Sometimes it's about doing less of what doesn't serve you, less of what drains you, and more of what builds you. When you focus on what matters, you stop chasing after every new trend, every new idea, and every new distraction. Instead, you begin to cultivate deep, meaningful growth in areas that will last. Another aspect of focusing on what matters is prioritizing your peace. In a world that is constantly pulling you in different directions, it's easy to forget that peace is a choice. You get to decide where you put your attention, where you invest your emotional energy, and where you allow stress to take root. When you focus on what matters, you stop allowing external circumstances to dictate your internal state. You begin to create boundaries that protect your peace, and you learn to let go of things that threaten it. Your peace is non-negotiable. If you allow every little thing to disturb your inner calm, you'll never be able to focus on the things that truly matter. Instead of reacting to every situation or person that comes into your life, you learn to pause, reflect, and respond with intention. When you protect your peace, you protect your clarity. You give yourself the mental space needed to focus on your purpose and make decisions that move you closer to your goals. Focus is the foundation of success. When you focus on what matters, you begin to take intentional steps toward creating the life you want. You start to align your actions with your purpose. You make decisions that reflect your values. You let go of the things that are no longer serving you and make room for the things that will help you grow. The more you focus on what matters, the more your life begins to transform. You stop getting caught up in the noise and you begin to move forward with intention, confidence, and clarity. So today, I challenge you to take a step back and assess where your focus is. Are you focusing on what truly matters? Are you investing your time and energy into things that align with your purpose? Or are you getting lost in the distractions of life? It's time to refocus. It's time to put your attention where it counts. When you focus on what matters, everything else will follow. You'll start living with intention, purpose, and clarity. And that is where true success begins. Focus on what matters and everything else will fall into place. There's a powerful lesson that life continually teaches us. Whether we realize it or not, things have a way of working themselves out when we trust the process. Too often, we become impatient with life's timing, frustrated when things aren't unfolding the way we envision. We want everything now on our terms, in our timing. But the truth is, there is a process in everything, whether we see it or not, and that process is vital to our growth. When we learn to trust that process, we open ourselves up to the possibility of something greater, something more aligned with our true purpose. We live in a culture that prioritizes instant gratification. We want success, happiness, and fulfillment right now. We scroll through social media and see other people's achievements, and suddenly we feel behind. We feel like we should be further along, achieving more, doing more. The pressure to keep up with everyone else can make us anxious, and we begin to doubt whether we're in the right path at all. But the truth is, the most meaningful achievements in life take time. They take patience. They take consistent effort over a period of time, and they are often the result of a journey that is not linear. It's messy, unpredictable, and requires us to trust that what we're doing is leading us somewhere. This is where the concept of trusting the process comes in. You see, every seed planted in the ground must first go through a period of unseen growth before it can break through the surface and bloom into something beautiful. We can't rush that process. We can't force the seed to grow faster. We can't make it bloom overnight. The same is true for our lives. Growth takes time, and there will be moments when we can't see the progress. But we have to trust that beneath the surface, the work is happening. The foundation is being built. And when the time is right, what has been planted will rise stronger and more powerful than we could have imagined. Trusting the process doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It's not about being passive or waiting for things to fall into place without putting in effort. On the contrary, it's about doing your part, putting in the work, and being consistent in your efforts. But it's also about letting go of the need to control the timing and outcome. We are often so focused on the end result that we forget the journey is where the growth actually happens. The process is the teacher. The process is where we develop resilience, where we learn to persevere, where we build the strength and character needed to handle what's coming next. In the midst of pursuing our goals, there will be obstacles. There will be setbacks. There will be times when things don't go according to plan and we'll feel discouraged. But those moments aren't signs that we're on the wrong path. They are simply part of the process. They are tests of our perseverance, opportunities for us to rise above challenges, and moments that strengthen us for what lies ahead. Instead of becoming frustrated, we need to remind ourselves that challenges are simply stepping stones on the path to success. Every difficulty is preparing us for something greater. Every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. It's important to recognize that the process may not always look the way we expect. Life rarely unfolds in a straight line. There are twists, turns, and unexpected detours. But those detours often lead us to places we never would have reached if we had stuck to the original plan. Sometimes we think we know what we want, but life has something even better in store for us. The detours, the unexpected opportunities, and the moments of uncertainty are all part of the process of aligning us with the right path. Trusting the process means surrendering our own timeline and trusting that the universe or God is leading us exactly where we need to go, even when we can't see the whole picture. One of the hardest parts of trusting the process is learning to be patient. We live in a world that values speed and efficiency, where everything is expected to happen quickly. But real growth, real transformation, and real success take time. You cannot rush it. There's no shortcut. The things that matter most in life, true love, lasting success, deep wisdom, are the result of years of commitment, hard work, and trust. It's about understanding that even when progress seems slow, you are still moving forward. You are still growing. And that's the only thing that matters. There's a peace that comes when you release the need to rush. You realize that you don't have to force things. You don't have to chase after what's meant for you. Instead, you focus on what's in front of you, doing the work, being present, and taking one step at a time. As you trust the process, you become less focused on the destination and more focused on the journey. You begin to see each moment as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to prepare for what's coming next. Trusting the process is about letting go of fear and doubt. It's about embracing the unknown, knowing that even when you can't see what's ahead, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. It's about trusting that everything is unfolding as it should, even if it doesn't look the way you thought it would. So I encourage you today, whatever you're working on, whatever goal you're striving toward, whatever challenge you're facing, trust the process. Don't rush it. Don't fight it. Take one step at a time and know that every moment of the journey is shaping you for something greater. Keep going. Keep trusting. And when the time is right, you will see the fruits of your labor stronger and more powerful than you ever imagined. Trust the process and let the journey transform you. There is a profound truth that we must all come to understand in life. Not everything and not everyone is meant for you. So often we get caught up in trying to hold on to things that aren't aligned with our purpose, our values, or our growth. We try to fit into places and situations where we don't belong, and in doing so, we end up losing sight of who we really are. But the key to living a fulfilling life is learning to discern what's meant for you and what isn't. When you learn to focus on what truly belongs in your life and release the rest, you begin to experience freedom and clarity like never before. The truth is, there are things in your life that were never meant to stay. There are people, relationships, habits, and circumstances that for one reason or another no longer serve your growth. The hardest part is recognizing that it's time to let go. Sometimes we hold on because we're afraid of what will happen if we release control. We fear the unknown, the possibility of change, and the discomfort that comes with releasing something that feels familiar, even if it no longer serves us. But in order to grow, in order to step into the life we were truly meant to live, we have to learn to say goodbye to things and people that are holding us back. It's not always easy to let go, but it's essential. You see, when you hold on to something that is no longer meant for you, you're essentially blocking space for what's truly meant for you to enter. Life has a way of making room for the right things when we make the decision to let go of the wrong ones. When you let go of relationships that drain you, situations that stunt your growth, or dreams that no longer align with your values, you make space for new opportunities, new people, and new experiences that are better suited for your future. The process of letting go might feel painful, but in the long run, it's a necessary part of personal growth. You must learn to release the things that aren't yours to carry so that you can fully embrace the things that are meant to be part of your journey. Recognizing what's meant for you also means recognizing your own worth. You must understand that you deserve to be in relationships, situations, and environments that support your growth, not hinder it. Too often we settle for less because we don't believe that we are worthy of more. We allow ourselves to remain in places where we are undervalued, underappreciated, or not aligned with our true purpose. But the moment you recognize your worth, you begin to see that you are deserving of the best. You begin to recognize that you are worthy of the relationships, opportunities, and success that truly align with your values and your vision for your life. The same principle applies to the situations we find ourselves in. Sometimes we get caught up in circumstances that seem impossible to change. We may find ourselves stuck in a job we don't love, a place we don't want to be, or a routine that feels suffocating. But the moment you recognize that your current situation isn't aligned with your purpose, you begin to shift your focus. You start to look for opportunities to change your circumstances. You begin to take steps towards something that is better suited to your strengths, your passions, and your future. When you focus on what is meant for you, you stop wasting energy on things that will never bring you joy or fulfillment. Another aspect of recognizing what's meant for you is understanding that you don't have to force things. Too often, we try to push situations, relationships, or opportunities that just aren't working. We try to make things fit, even when they clearly don't belong in our lives. We may force ourselves into relationships that aren't healthy or pursue paths that don't align with who we are. But when you recognize that not everything is meant for you, you stop forcing things to work. You stop pushing against the flow of life and start moving with it. This doesn't mean you stop striving for your goals, but it means you let go of the need to control everything. You stop trying to make something happen that isn't in alignment with your true self. Letting go also involves setting healthy boundaries. Recognizing what's meant for you means knowing when to say no. You don't have to say yes to every opportunity, every invitation, or every request. Sometimes the most empowering thing you can do is say no to things that don't serve your purpose or align with your values. Saying no allows you to protect your time, your energy, and your peace. It allows you to focus on the things that truly matter and let go of the distractions that keep you from moving forward. In life, we often find ourselves holding on to things out of fear or attachment. We hold on because we don't want to face the uncertainty that comes with change. But the truth is, letting go is not a loss, it's a gain. It's a gain because it opens up space for something new, something better, something more aligned with your purpose. It's a gain because it allows you to live more freely, more authentically, and more in alignment with who you are meant to be. So today, I challenge you to reflect on your life and ask yourself, what am I holding on to that I need to let go of? What people, situations, or circumstances are no longer meant for me? It's time to let go of what no longer serves you and make room for what truly belongs in your life. When you recognize what's meant for you and release the rest, you will experience the freedom and growth you've been longing for. One of the most powerful truths that many people fail to grasp is that the path to greatness isn't paved by perfection, it's shaped by progress. Too often, we get caught in the trap of thinking that if we aren't perfect, we're not worthy of success. We look at our flaws, our mistakes, and our failures, and we believe they disqualify us from achieving our dreams. But the reality is, your imperfections are not what hold you back. It's your failure to take consistent action, even in the face of imperfection, that keeps you from reaching your full potential. Perfectionism is a dream killer. It paralyzes you with fear, doubt, and insecurity. It tells you that you need to have everything figured out, that you need to be flawless, and that anything less is unacceptable. But the truth is, perfection doesn't exist. It's an illusion. There will always be something to improve, always something to learn, and always something to work on. The pursuit of perfection is a never-ending cycle that only leaves you feeling frustrated and unfulfilled. It's time to let go of the idea that you need to be perfect to succeed. What you need is progress. not perfection. When you focus on progress, you shift your mindset. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect version of yourself, you begin to take action. Progress means showing up even when you don't have all the answers. It means putting in the work even when things aren't going exactly as planned. It means being willing to take imperfect steps toward your goals, knowing that those steps will eventually lead to something greater. Think about it for a moment. How many opportunities have you missed because you were waiting for the perfect conditions? How many times have you held back from starting something because you didn't feel ready or because you were afraid of making mistakes? The truth is, waiting for the perfect moment is often just an excuse to delay your progress. Perfectionism tells you that if you don't have everything in place, you shouldn't take action. But the reality is, the only way to move forward is by taking imperfect steps. It's through those imperfect steps that you learn, grow, and eventually succeed. The journey to success is not a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, and obstacles. There will be setbacks, failures, and mistakes along the way. But it's how you respond to those challenges that determines your success. If you let every failure hold you back, you'll never make progress. If you let your mistakes define you, you'll never reach your potential. But if you embrace imperfection and see every setback as an opportunity to learn, you'll keep moving forward. Every mistake is a lesson. Every failure is a stepping stone, and every setback is simply a redirection to something better. Progress is about growth, not perfection. It's about showing up every day, doing the best you can with what you have, and trusting that your efforts will pay off over time. Success isn't about being perfect from the start. It's about making progress, even if that progress is slow. It's about consistently taking steps in the right direction, no matter how small those steps may seem. There's another important aspect to consider when it comes to progress: self-compassion. We are often our own harshest critics, holding ourselves to standards that we would never apply to others. We beat ourselves up over every mistake, every misstep, and every perceived failure. But the truth is, you cannot progress if you are constantly judging yourself. Progress requires grace for yourself, grace for your mistakes, and grace for your growth. When you allow yourself to make mistakes without the fear of judgment, you free yourself to keep moving forward. You learn to embrace your imperfections and use them as fuel for your growth, not as barriers to your success. Another key element of progress is persistence. It's about not giving up when things get tough. There will be times when you want to quit. There will be times when the path ahead feels unclear, or when you question whether you're on the right track. But persistence is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who don't. Success is not reserved for the most talented or the most perfect. Success is for those who keep going, even when things are difficult. It's for those who stay committed to their goals, even when they don't see immediate results. When you focus on progress instead of perfection, you also learn to appreciate the journey. Success is not just about reaching a destination, it's about who you become along the way. Every step, every challenge, every victory, and every failure is part of your growth. When you stop focusing on being perfect and start focusing on progress, you begin to appreciate the lessons you learn along the way. You understand that the journey itself is just as valuable as the destination. In the end, the pursuit of perfection is not what leads to greatness, it's the pursuit of progress. Greatness is built one step at a time, and each of those steps, no matter how imperfect, brings you closer to your goals. So don't wait for perfection. Don't wait for everything to be just right. Take the first step, make progress, and trust that the rest will follow. With every small effort, every imperfect action, you are moving closer to the person you are meant to be. And that is where true greatness lies. Embrace progress over perfection and watch your life transform. As we conclude this journey together, remember that life isn't about striving for perfection. It's about embracing the process, taking one step at a time, and trusting that every moment is shaping you into the person you are meant to become. Your imperfections don't disqualify you. They are the very things that make you human, and make your story worth telling. Every setback is an opportunity for growth. Every challenge is a chance to learn. And every action, no matter how small, brings you closer to your dreams. So my message to you today is this: trust the process. Let go of what's not meant for you. Keep moving forward, no matter how imperfect the path may seem. Your journey is uniquely yours, and the best is yet to come. Keep pushing, keep believing, and never forget that progress, not perfection, is the key to unlocking the greatness within you. Good luck as you continue on your journey. May you find strength in every challenge, wisdom in every mistake, and success in every step. Thank you for your time and attention today. And remember, your future is in your hands. Keep going and make it count.